Good morning. It is 6:25, just outside of Alma, Colorado, on Monday, February 17th. It is about 18 degrees outside, and it was windy all night. Just all night. And despite getting to bed at about 7 p.m. or so and getting up at 5:30, I only got like 7 hours of sleep, which is fine. All things said and done. It wasn't continual sleep, which would have been the better way, but that's all right. So today, we're gonna head up Highway 6 or Highway 9, I can't remember which one it is, that's on Alma, up over the pass to go to Loveland Ski Resort. And I didn't deflate last night. Didn't really have a need. There were a few spots that I had to just shove through, but 4 High's been doing just fine so far for what I need to get through, because this stuff was pretty shallow. So, with any luck, the highway's been maintained overnight, and I won't have to worry about anything with regards to traction on the asphalt. Because yeah, the road is mostly taken care of. It's mostly rocky, and there were just a few snowdrifts to contend with. You can see the sunrise way off in the distance. Here, let me shut off all of the screens and such, so you can enjoy this look forward with me. Yeah, 18 degrees wasn't too bad to deal with. The tent didn't start frosting over until a couple hours ago, and I stayed pretty warm throughout the night. I've got a nice, not fleece blanket, but a fluffy blanket, and then a comforter, and then a denim blanket with wool lining for, just staying warm. So I didn't have a problem with that, even though the heater wasn't doing too much. I checked the thermometer this morning, and it was 45 degrees in there. So all things considered, it's not bad. Yeah, you can just see the sun wanting to peek out through clouds back there. And the snow's pretty light. The forecast last night was for snow showers, and that turned out to be true enough. And it is getting light outside. But yeah, this light stuff, you really don't have to worry about too much. And it doesn't accumulate much, so I wasn't too worried about getting bogged in. Although I did check at midnight last night just to make sure that I wasn't setting myself up for disaster. I just stepped out one more time and made sure that everything was kosher. Everything was cool in terms of accumulation. And it was. So we're gonna continue onward toward the highway, and yeah, just kind of enjoy the morning. So we'll see what it looks like when we get out there. And then we'll be, I'm dreading skiing. So I've got the snow skates still, the ODRs, and like, they were troublesome enough when I went up there, what was it, Friday? And I know that there's been more powder accumulation this weekend. So what I got to do is when I get to Loveland is check the report for any groomed sections and hope that I can get a few runs on them before the powder starts really accumulating. Though, if it's this light, it may not be too bad, but I don't know if it's going to be as heavy or as light as this on this side of the pass, going over to Breck, and then further over into Loveland. So, I guess we'll find out. But for now, it's time to drive. So we're approaching the highway now, and it looks like it has been maintained. I'm gonna wait for some traffic to pass because it has just enough on the top of it that it looks like it might be slippery. I also want to see how fast other people are going with their vehicles. All right, moderate pace. Probably keep it in 4 high, just for the sake of all the wheels going the same speed. And well, I do see a plow up ahead, so that's good. And I'll just keep it slow and steady because I'm in no rush today. Well, except to get there before everybody else does. So starting to climb out of Alma Valley now, and the snow is still dusty. Fortunately, people are being pretty sane with their speed. I know that the speed limit here is like 55 or something, and I'm doing 40, less so on the turns. And no closures to speak of. It's just saying that the traction law is in effect, which I do meet. In fact, I'm engaged in right now because I'm in 4-wheel drive. And we're just taking it up nice and easy. One of the nice things about the tires that I have is that they're really well built for snow. Many people who build off-road rigs want to have mud terrain tires, and they usually go with Nitto grapplers or something similar. But the problem is, in colder weather, because those are more thickly built to withstand the abuse that tossing a vehicle at rocks will do, they don't flex as well when it gets colder, whereas all-terrains do. And the Mickey Thompson Baja Boss tires that I have been wonderful in that regard. They wrap Method 701 wheels, and as a result of that, I can take those down to 8 psi comfortably in the deep stuff. But right now, with just surface snow and some ice chunks here and there, I am feeling very comfy in how this is progressing. But we'll be at the summit here in about 3 miles. Probably going to slow my roll a little bit more, just to be on the safe side. So yeah, it's going fine on Highway 9. See, I'm a poet and I wasn't even aware of it. If you ever drive on this type of surface only in two-wheel drive and you're sitting at 35 miles an hour, there is no reason that you shouldn't go into four-wheel drive. A lot of people tend to think that four-wheel drive is solely for getting going, but what you're doing is you're robbing your wheels of synchronicity if you're not in four-wheel drive, because your front wheels and rear wheels are spinning at the same rate. What that means is that if your back tires get on slippier surface, your front tires are more or less telling it, hey, don't go faster than what you are already, and you're going to have far fewer spin-outs. And vice versa, the front tires, needing some instruction on how to move, which helps on slippery surfaces. So it's important that if you have the option to select four-wheel drive on this stuff for high, you absolutely should, because if you don't, you are setting yourself up for disaster. And I've seen a few different outcomes of that, a couple of which I've had to pull people out myself. So just play it safe, use four-wheel drive. There's nothing lost by doing so. I had thought about camping at the summit last night, because there are a few roads that go back just a little bit from this parking spot that's up here, and kind of glad I didn't, mostly because I would have been worried about being boxed in by plows pushing stuff off to the side. So I am engine braking now. That's also another thing, is if you can rely on your engine to do the braking for you in slippery conditions like this, you absolutely should. You want that to be the thing that helps govern all of your wheels instead of possible traction lockup from utilizing your brakes. So I'm going to ease into my brakes here. I'm doing 18 miles an hour around this bend, because your centrifugal force is going to want to push you forward. You want to take turns, especially sharper ones like these, at a much slower rate, so that way the momentum isn't overriding your traction and sending you off into a barrier. Simple stuff, but a lot of people are afraid to do stuff like this because they haven't done it before. And so if you're coming across my video and you're like, okay, this makes sense. Yes, I'm going to use four-wheel drive. Yes, I'm going to make sure that I'm using my engine for braking instead of my actual brakes as much as possible. Leave a comment. Let me know that it reached you and it made you feel a little bit more confident, because that means a lot to me. If my information and my experiences can help make it better for others, then so be it. Also, this guy should not be tailgating that close. It's a minivan, my dude. He's gonna have some problems with traction. He's probably not on snow tires like he should be. Alright, what do we got here? Some people going real slow. Probably because they're not on appropriate tires. The guy was kicking out a little bit, probably isn't in four-wheel drive. You know what, this is just going to turn into a driving critique video. That's all I'm going to do, is just critique people on why they're not doing stuff properly on slippery surfaces. The Bronco behind me is doing it right. He's keeping his distance, he's taking his turns slow. I have a lot more faith in the person behind me. It is one of the old school Broncos, like going 40 miles an hour on a California freeway speed Bronco. If you know, you know. Alright. So we're out of the hairpins for the most part. I think there's a few more further up, but Yeah, this is doable. And it's pretty out. I mean, the sun is out in full force, so now now everything's well lit. And the snow isn't too heavy. I need to turn up my defroster a little bit more. This is pretty passable. Like, once you understand what your vehicle is capable of doing with regards to snow and traction and all of that stuff, it's very easy to negotiate this type of stuff. But if you are the type that is not equipping the right tires or thinking that all-wheel drive is going to save you from whatever speed that you're going to do, you're in for a bad, bad time. But for now, I just want to enjoy some of the scenery. Oh, there's another bend coming up. So I'm going to ease into my brakes slowly. I'm braking way, way earlier than I would on dry surface to negotiate this. Like, you can see I'm doing 20 miles an hour for this stuff because I don't know what's underneath this top layer. Granted, my tires help out with negotiating that as well as the four-wheel drive, but I don't want to risk it. I just don't want to risk it. So for me, taking these nice and slowly is important. Sticking on the manual shifting to make sure that the engine is doing a lot of the braking for me makes all the difference in the world. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Even for me, this was a little bit too fast. I have traction, but that would have been a little bit slower on the entry and then, you know, gaining momentum on the exit would have been all right. Like, even on this, I feel just a slight amount of chassis wiggle as I'm going through some of the bumpy stuff. Because mind you, this is asphalt underneath this snow, so it is what it is. Oh, but it is pretty though. Welcome to Breckenridge. You're not skiing here today. I'm not that rich. It is a quaint little town though, and eventually I will get up here. And then maybe at some point I will ski at Vail as well. But that's probably not going to be for a couple of years. It's a proper snowstorm though. The flakes are thicker on this side of the pass, which makes me really worried about Loveland. Oh, I have a feeling I'm going to have such an atrocious time there today. And there's going to be nothing I can do about it. It might be the shortest run of the day, or of the season. Oh well. It's a risk when you buy ski skates that you will have problems in fresh powder. What I'm hoping is that it's groomed right before I get up there. I can get on some of the groomed trails and then hopefully get done at like noon and just start heading home before all of the traffic starts picking up. Yeah, this is some proper snow for sure. This guy's stopping. And as it would turn out, the universe had a different idea of what it wanted me to do. Well, biggest wrench thrown in the plans ever. Not only is US 6 still closed because of avalanche concerns, but they've also closed I-70 to the tunnel because of avalanche concerns. which means I'm stuck on this side of the mountain pass, and I won't be able to get to Loveland today unless I go all the way around. Back on the highway we just came over to 285 to 470, and then back onto I-70 and up. That sucks. Looks like they just closed it off too. I see traffic further ahead. Oh man. Oh. Well, no skiing today. No skiing today. It's so close and yet so far away. Well, I guess this is going to be cut short today because I was intent on getting up and doing some skiing and talking about the powder, but it's not going to happen. So I'm just going to take the long way home, and hopefully it's uneventful. So until next time, I'll see you around.